Have you been hurt? Been backstabbed? Got a talking back team? Well, you're not alone. No. Escaping to another reality. Through Dominic Wilkins' good books. Good books, audio books, paperback, ebook, good books. Available on authordwilkinsgoodbooks.com.
This is Brandon Royce, and you're listening to Jerry Royce Live worldwide on PositivePower21.org.
This is Jus Patrick, and you're listening to Jerry Royce Live.
Yeah. I wanna see you sweat. I gotta see you sweat. I wanna see you sweat. I gotta see you sweat. I like what you got on. It's turning me on. You got me so excited, girl, I can't deny it. I know you're looking fresh, but I'm trying to see you sweat. So don't be up in it acting like you can't dance. What you trying to do? You trying to make me fall for you. You're moving your body like a carousel.
What up? It's your boy Kano Kingston.
Hi, this is Angel Sessions.
Hey, this is Pat. Hi, I'm Teresa Powell.
Hi, Jerry. This is Ira Sandro Carter.
Hi, this is Phil Powers.
Hello, this is Teresa Bobby with Jerry Royce Live.
Hi, I'm Philip Byrne. I'm live on the Jerry Royce Show.
Hey, what it do? It's your boy Houston Saint.
Peace, this is Dahlia the poet, spoken word artist.
Hello, this is Ramon Marquis with Jerry Royce Live.
All right, everyone. You got Robin Lynn, and I'm keeping it live right now on Jerry Royce Live.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's up? This is a award-winning podcast with the greatest podcast on earth. Thank you for stopping by. I'm your host, Jerry Royce Live worldwide on internet radio, where you get your positive on. So when it's all positive, it's all power. That's positive power. This is a worldwide podcast for growth, wealth, and success. Thank you.
Think you know how drugs get in those little brown bottles? Think again. Set in the green hills of western New Jersey, inside the gilded halls of power of a U.S. pharmaceutical company where decisions are worth billions of dollars and human lives worth less. Nicholas Harding, a young executive at Marshall Pharmaceutical, finds his career, family, and life in jeopardy. The Farmhouse, a suspense thriller novel by Bill Powers, published by Donna Inc. Publications, available at Amazon.com or DonnaInc.org. Go to Bill's webpage at www.author.BillPowers.com.
Are you looking for the next great read? A book filled with love, passion, betrayal, and intrigue. The award-winning novel, Season of Change, by Tamika Patrice Kane is sure to satisfy your literary sweet tooth. Check out this must-read book reviewers are calling uplifting and emotional, and exceptionally great read, deeply intense and thought-provoking. Order your copy today, available in paperback and ebook on Amazon.com or at www.tamikapatrice.com.
Are you an author looking for promotional services or a reader looking for a great read at low prices? In this competitive world of books, Writing Royalty Promotions is dedicated to bringing authors and readers together to build a greater respect for literature through our various promotional services and online bookstore. So head over to WritingRoyaltyPromotions.com and check us out.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and welcome to Positive Power 21.org. I am Jerry Royce Live, and you're listening to episode 311. And tonight on the show, we have Jus Patrick. That's right, and we're going to tell you a little bit more about him right after this final message from Music Buzz, Marilyn Dunn, super gospel artist.
Hi, I am recording artist Marilyn Dunn from St. Louis, Missouri. If you are looking for some soul-stirring, anointed, spiritual, and heartfelt music, visit my website at www.marilyndunnministries.com. Or you can also find me on CD Baby, iTunes, and Reverb Nation. For booking information, contact Mr. Kevin Dunn at 636-856-0551. That's 636-856-0551.
All right, tonight on the show we have Jus Patrick. Man, we following this guy on YouTube. You know, my wife and I, we always looking for some good covers to listen to. And sometimes we just enjoy listening to other artists sing other artists' songs, especially the independents, man. They can really blow, man. Oh, they do a great job out there. We be listening to them for 3-4 hours sometimes. And anyway, this guy is incredible. He has a song out there that people going crazy over. It's called the-weddng-song, a cappella.
What's going on YouTube? Just received a message about whether I'm really singing one of my songs. And actually, I'm a recording engineer too, so I'm pretty good with hooking up my microphones and setting up everything, but I did want to show that this is actually me singing the song so that there's no confusion there. I look into your eyes as you walk down the aisle. My heart skips a beat. I never thought this day would ever come for me, but you came along, you complete me, fulfill me, satisfy all my needs. You showed me a great love, and I'm ready to commit to you. So in front of my friends and all my family, I love you from this day on and for the rest of my life. I'll be right by your side.
But Jus Patrick, he's from the Carolinas. I can't remember whether it's North or South Carolina, but he's from the Carolinas. His genre is R&B recording, and he knows all about mainstream. That's right. He's going to tell us a story. He's a recording and performing artist. He actually has CDs that's available right now on Apple iTunes, still for sale. So you go right out to his YouTube channel, and that's Jus Patrick, Jus Patrick. All right, and get a chance to check him out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I bring you Jus Patrick. How you doing, Patrick? What's up, man?
Hey, nothing much, Jerry. How's everything going with you?
Man, awesome, man. We're just waiting for a snowstorm to come through, man, so we can have 2 days off, man, so I can play around with the internet.
Man. Congratulations on all the episodes you guys have had. That's beautiful.
Yeah, man. We rolling, man. 311, bruh. 311.
311. That's a great accomplishment, man. I feel honored to even be on one of those episodes right now. That's amazing.
Yeah, man. I give God all the praise, man. I don't know how I did it, man. You know, pushing 7 to 8 shows a week, 4 days a week, man. Brother grinding, man. Wow. Yeah, but man, you the real success, man. I didn't get a chance to tell you about all your accolades, but I mean, this dude has a lot of subscribers. I always thought that's pretty amazing when people can get someone to subscribe to their YouTube channel. YouTube is not always an everyday thing for you. You know, it's like Facebook and Twitter. It's like every day. Well, you know, maybe a couple of days a week you want to watch a video, listen to a song, or watch somebody act up, but not like you do, you know, your communities. So that was one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you, is because I want to know what is the secret to YouTube. Because Oprah will bring you on if you hit 1 million. She'll have you on her couch, you know. So anyway, man, That's right. You got to hit 1 million. But anyway, man, before we get started and talking about the YouTube and the social media, we want everybody to get a chance to get to know you, because I told you my family is all over Maryland, all over D.C., and they like to know who I'm talking to. So, Patrick, your first question is, who is Jus Patrick?
Well, let's see, Jus Patrick. That's a very loaded question, but I'm going to try to answer it the best I can, as best I can. I would say I'm a songwriter, I'm a singer, I'm a producer, and I'm an artist. And I think if I were going to choose one of those to characterize me in full, I would say I'm an artist first. Being that, a lot of times people misconstrue what artist means and the word artistry. And for me, music is my outlet for artistry. And when I say an artist, it's actually my methodology of actually allowing myself to actually express everything that's going on inside of my mind, everything that's going on inside of my head, the things that I'm trying to release, and things that I want to try to touch the world, tap into the world with a little bit. So music is just that outlet for me. So that's why I would say over all of those things, just being an artist, I think all the other things compile to form that one word. So that's what I would say, Jus Patrick is an artist. If you want to deals with that right there, yeah.
That's right,
and
man.
Singing and songwriting and all those things just come with the territory.
Nothing wrong with that, man. So you hear him, ladies. Now I was telling them that, I mean, you was turning up out there, man. On the YouTube channel, you got your singles out there. You got your album being introduced to people. Now a lot of this stuff you had done a couple of years ago, man. Tell us a little bit about what you've been up to the last few years, and who's Jus Patrick? What is he all about? Is he all about the music? He's about his audience? Because being away for 2 years or however long you've been away from us, I know that people miss you, man. Your fans miss you, and maybe that's why they're all over YouTube, man, wanting more of you. So tell us that story, man.
All right. I'll start with Jus Patrick, the artist first, instead of going way back, and then if we want to go back a little bit further, we can. But I'll start there first. When I first started my solo career, I decided that I wanted to try to do something a little different, and I wanted to be true to the things that were important to me in terms of writing and singing. So I tried to stay very true to that in terms of, touching people's emotions. That could be love, or it could be somebody that's going through something like abuse or something like that. I wanted to include all of that, have all that inclusive in the songs that I created, so that it would actually touch and actually hopefully, inspire something inside of someone that could change their life or their situation. So the first thing that I actually did was I created a maxi single, and it had like about 6 songs on it, and which is what's actually on iTunes right now and Amazon. And that was about 6 years ago, actually, believe it or not. It's been a while. I'll admit I've been out of it for a while, but I had very great success with that particular release of that maxi single. And pretty much the hard copies, we had all the copies that we printed out, they sold out. And right now, we still have the digital copies, of course, being sold online on a lot of different venues, and those are still doing well. But a lot of people have expressed that, are you just out of the game? Did you quit singing? Did you quit doing music? And to answer that question, to those people that may be wondering that, no. I mean, this is who I am. So I don't even think it's an option or a choice for me to ever stop doing this. I think that, when I'm 65, 75, 85, if I am fortunate enough to live that long, I'll still be trying to hit some keys on the piano if my fingers still work. Hopefully arthritis won't kick in too much. I'll still be able to do that.
That's right.
But and I'll still be trying to sing and create music, because that's just, like I said, I think it's ingrained in the person that I am. But just to let you know about what I'm doing right now, I am working on a new project, and this will be actually what I consider to be my first release. So I'm actually kind of excited. I'm very grateful that the opportunity is still here for me. I'm also grateful that the passion still exists, because in music industry, with it being as difficult and hard of an industry as it is, I know that there's a lot of horror stories with people that have been in this industry and have just kind of given up just because of not so much the fact that they're very talented or not so much of what they're able to do, their own abilities, but because the industry a lot of times actually has so many just downsides to it that it ends up being a situation where it seems more convenient for people just to give up. So to be able to say that right now I'm actually working on another project, I think that that's actually a blessing because, again, anybody who's been in this industry, in the entertainment industry, period, can speak of a million horror stories that they've had to, talk about. So, but yeah, this project that I'm doing right now, I feel like it's going to be something that no one else has ever done, which is something that I like to do. I like to be a little bit different than everybody else, and I'm very, very, very excited. It will be done this year, and I'm hoping that it's received well by by the masses, and when I say masses, I mean those people who have been there and following me and listening to me, and just people that enjoy what I quote unquote, I guess the experience of the music that I'm presenting them with.
Yeah, sound good, man. Now, I'm thinking, man, when you drop this project, man, they're gonna go crazy, man. Now there's gonna be a follow up. I mean, like what we're expecting to see leading up to this drop. What should we see?
With this drop right here, this one's going to be a little bit different than what I've done before because you're gonna hopefully you'll have me back on number one. That's the first thing. I'm hoping that I get to have the privilege and pleasure of being able to speak about this again with you once we get close to that point. That's number one. Number two, I'm hoping, I am going to, with this one right here, through my justpatrick.com website, I'm actually going to have a lot of things. We're going to be putting a countdown on there of when we're going to do the release. We're not trying to do a label. I'm not trying to do a label thing, like a major label thing. I've been down that road before, and there are a lot of politics along with it. So I feel like having control over yourself and having control over your music is very important. And for all the other independent artists who are actually still doing that themselves, I applaud them because there's a lot of work and there's a lot of when this is what you want to do, this is who you are trying to do. It is very difficult, but I applaud everybody that's out there trying to do this thing independently because it is a lot of work, a lot of downsides to that also. But at the same time, I think that when you have total control and total autonomy, you're able to actually be who you want to be the artist that you want to be. So on this one right here, what we're going to do is we're going to use a lot of the social media venues. We're going to have the Twitter, Facebook, of course YouTube, and then we're going to do the iTunes. It'll be actually released on iTunes and pretty much all the other those digital media sources will have the CD released on all of those at the same time also. So even though it's going to be an independent, we're going to try to treat it as if it's a release from a major label in regards to what we're able to do, and hit as many venues as we can, and hopefully get on a couple of radio stations and do a few other things like that, so that as many people who are interested in hearing this music can actually have the ability to easily access it and get to it, and and moving like that. And what the main thing of it is, what I'm hoping is that this also opens up the doors for some other artists that are really thinking about this independent route and realizing that, right now that this is a great time for them to really push themselves a little bit more so than they have been in the past, and making sure that, I can still do this without having to actually go to some of these big labels or some other things, and learn the business a little bit for themselves, because I think that's always important when you get into anything, is knowing what you're getting yourself into. And so I'm hoping that this actually opens up the door for some of those people that are trying to do that also.
Oh yeah, man, they watching, man. They want to watch your blueprint to make this thing happen. Now, Pat, you've been gone for 6 years. Now, when I was out there on YouTube, I said, man, where this cat come from? Because I think you approached us, and I said, man, this guy's big time. I saw all these views on all your videos and your album cover. I didn't know that, you were on a break for a while. And I said, wow, 2 years. I'm seeing 2 years, 3 years. Then I said a year ago, I said, okay, maybe he was with one of those boy groups and he decided to just take a break because he made so much money. You want to take some time off.
Well, actually, I'll go to the history and tell you a little bit about, how everything started, if that's all right.
Okay. Yeah. When we're going to take a break at 9:30. So we're going to take a break at 9:30, and we're going to come right back to you, okay? All right.
But when I first got started, it was I was with a group, and we had and what we did was we would go to a lot of the major labels. We went to New York, did a lot of pretty much the same stuff that I'm pretty sure every group, you have your dreams, you go over, and us being small town kids from North Carolina, getting on a plane and flying out to New York, and we were thinking to ourselves, this is it. And we were able to meet, fortunate enough to meet a lot of major people within the group, and what we thought was going to be our ending, with us being a group, ended up not working out in our favor. A lot of times with groups, that is what happens. So we had, we actually got signed to a label, and because of some, I'll say, irreconcilable differences between the group ended up kind of just breaking apart. And that was the first, I would say, the first downside to the whole music thing for me, because when you're working with a group for years and years and years, you get used to that camaraderie or that brotherhood that you have with the group, and then now all of a sudden it's like you're out there either to choose to do it alone, or either you're gonna just kind of like say to yourself, I'm just not gonna do music at all anymore. Still have a good relationship with the guys in the group, but that was a very good learning experience for me. And to make a long story short, we actually had got signed to a major label, and we had recorded a few songs, and there was a little bit of jealousy that went on within the group, and things did not work out. And so from that level, it just led to a lot of downsides from that end, and then we just decided that it just was best for us to kind of go our separate ways and do what we wanted to do. And everyone decided on some of it was 4 of us total in the group. 2 of us decided that we were going to try to pursue this music thing, and while the other 2 just kind of got into some other stuff. One of the guys in the group actually right now is a preacher, a real good friend of mine, and he actually preaches right now. So and I think we all grew, and which I think is a great thing. Every lesson learned in life, is what I say. So, but that's the beginning. And I know you said we got to do a break at 9:30, so I know I'll go into the Jus Patrick experience, which will take a little bit longer than that. So,
all right. So you want to take the break now, and then we come back?
Sure, that's fine.
Okay. All right. Let's take a quick break. We got a message from James Deshay on Book Buzz. Check him out.
Are you looking for a great book of poetry that is romantic, heartfelt, and full of male emotion? Then get Thoughts, Love, and Reflections by James K. Deshay. That's D-E-S-H-A-Y. Go to www.jamesdeshay.com. You will enjoy Thoughts, Love, and Reflections.
Are you an avid reader of urban fiction, looking for drama, suspense, and more? Wit Jus Publishing is dedicated to bringing the world's best literature to our readers. Urban fiction, erotica, sci-fi, mainstream fiction, and children's literature are just some of the genres produced by our diversified family of authors. You can reach us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and at our website, www.witjuspublishing.com.
Hey everyone, this is Tanika Gonzalez, spoken word poet. Whenever I'm online, I'm always listening to Jerry Royce Live.
That's right. You better, Tanika. You better be listening to Jerry Royce Live worldwide. All right, guys. Don't forget about the Super Remix Poetry. That's right. It's out there now on demand, available for you. You're talking about 2.5 hours of poetry from 11 poets. And we're hoping to get some music from Jus Patrick so we can have an R&B session. That's right, a mini concert with the many R&B and I guess all R&B singers we had on the show. We try to get that together for you guys real soon. And don't forget, we're going to be having my man, Wayne Washington, better known as Gigolo Weezy. That's right, he's going to be bringing some comedy to us pretty soon, so we hoping we have that ready for you by Saturday. So we just waiting on him right now, and that's going to be Unplugged with Wayne Washington, the funny man from Florida. That's right. All right, we talking to Jus Patrick. Pat, you from South Carolina? Is that right?
Actually, from North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Tiny, small city called Eden. Eden, North Carolina. It's about the size of a bean.
Oh, man.
I get that. It very country setting, but you learn from that. You grow in that type of thing. So it's a beautiful place to grow up in.
Yeah, it sounds like now a place like that, a small town. You hear all the time the big models, the big R&B gospel stars coming out these small towns. You got an indie guy there now. I just met last month. That's really kicking it really big as an independent. He's from Mississippi. Now living out in California, working with a producer. As an indie. Why is it that you guys are so successful, man? Tell us a little bit about that passion, man. Where you get it from a small town?
Well, honestly, I think we get it from the church. A lot of times these southern, how South is about the church, man. You don't play about the church. You in church. When you come out the womb, you get carried to the church, and I think that's where a lot of it comes from is the church. To be honest with you, and another thing that I think the reason why a lot of them, a lot of us Southerners, or I would say small town in general, while we're able to get involved in this music thing, and is because the difference between a city like, say, New York, where there's so many opportunities at every corner, when you're in a small city like Eden or High Point, which is where Fantasia was from, which is not too far from Eden, places like that, you're talking about, we don't really have anything else going on. So we get into music and we get into our art form and we really study it, and that becomes what we do. And so it's a passion for us, and we really, really push as hard as we can to try to get to the next level when it comes to that. We kind of live, eat, breathe, sleep it in our own little world, We don't have the equipment. We don't have a lot of the stuff that exists in these larger cities. So we have to make distractions. What we have. And you got to create your own thing. You got to make your own pathway. And so I think that's why a lot of times it's just a different type of passion, because I don't want to take away the passion from someone that may be from one of the larger cities either. It's just a different kind of passion that we have coming from smaller towns, because you just don't have those avenues. And there is you can't go to a record label because they don't exist. You can't go to an A&R rep and say, hey, I sing, because, again, that doesn't exist. So the only way that you can do that is to get in a plane and fly somewhere and hope that you can go knock on the doors of these labels and that they'll hear you. Well, fortunately now, one of the things that I think that has really opened up the door is the whole social media and the internet. And I think that that's allowed some of these smaller towns to become just like the larger ones, because now people can post their videos and they can get responses immediately from anybody in the world, or coming on to a venue like yours and actually being able to talk about what you're doing and you being able to actually display that out to the world. So that has really opened up the door for artists. But yeah, that's why I think the small town thing has been so successful for a lot of artists.
Yeah, that's amazing, because now one of the things, I grew up in Baltimore. But my family is from the south, southern, what they call the eastern shore of Maryland, but it's south, like you're heading to Virginia. We have a lot of distractions in the city, man. We have a lot of talent, but because the guys get caught up, and I'm not saying the guys don't get caught up in drugs in the south, because, that does happen too, because I know where I'm from, my father from, that they call that Rock City, man. But, crack was like, they were growing that bad boy, in the backyard. So I just think the big cities like New York, if the guys, trying to, it's expensive to live those places too. So it's like you're thinking about earning money. The quickest way you can earn money is what you're going to do. And then most of the time you're heading down the wrong track. Now, how about the fact that you guys got a lot of focus and a lot of time to really perfect your craft? Because I know my uncle, living down in the country, he was a really good drummer. He could play almost every instrument, the guitar, bass, and he rap and sing, and he was a DJ, and he was really good in basketball, football, and baseball. He should have been a professional baseball player. And because he had so much time to, devote to his craft with his friends, he just was really, when he came to the city, he dominated, but drugs got him.
That makes a lot of sense. Even when I look at, like, for me, for example, as a songwriter, when I started writing songs, a lot of people are amazed at how many songs I've actually written. You know, I actually have over 7,000 songs right now.
Wow.
That I've written. And the reason why is because I've been writing all the time. And when growing up in a small town, you sit in you get to go outside in a little country and nothing else is going on. I remember you play a little basketball when the street light come on, you better be in the house. Is what your mom would always tell you. That's what we we grew up with that. And then once that's the case, you're in your room, and only thing left to do, there's nothing else going on. So, for whatever your passion is, a lot of times what you spend time doing. For me, that passion was writing. And so what I would do is I would write poetry, I would write music, and I would just, I would constantly do that. And so I built up this whole repertoire of music that I have now, and it's been something that it comes to me second nature now. It's actually very easy. But I think the reason why it's so easy is because of how hard it was, at the beginning. So now it's just like something I'm used to doing. It becomes more of something that I've learned how to do pretty effectively. And I definitely owe that to being born in a smaller town, because I do think that distractions, as you would call them in some of the larger cities, would have changed that dynamic for me had I not been, able to just go outside and listen to the crickets and write music,
Yeah, because everybody's trying to be cool and impress the girl across the street. That's what we spend most of our time doing, and trying to earn enough money to buy a ride.
We did that too. We just didn't. We probably didn't have as much success as you would have doing it. Everybody knows. Everybody knows everybody in a little small town.
I know.
Everybody knows everybody. So whatever you do, everybody knows what you're doing. So that's another thing too. Is like anything you do. If you have a pimple on your face, everybody in the whole town knows that you had a pimple on yesterday.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit of the difference,
Yeah, that's right, man. I count that most of the girls in town are your cousins, man. So your choices are limited. Yeah, I remember that too. But Dad said, well, make sure you give me some names before you start asking people out, because they may be your cousin. I was like, oh, well, I'm going back to Baltimore then. Yeah, go back to Baltimore. Because I was getting frustrated down. Fine women got the same last name. I said, after a while, they have to be a fifth and a sixth. That don't count. Yes, it does. Oh, man. Anyway, dude. Now, look, man, let's talk a little bit about social media a little bit, the good and the bad. Now, one of the things you hit on was independents have a real opportunity now that they really don't really need mainstream as much. Like, what are they going to do for you now that anybody, like especially the big boys like iTunes and Amazon, could carry, you don't have to go through any of those guys to get permission to be distributed. You go straight to them, upload your stuff. They're not going to ask you 1,000 questions. I guess they just want enough information that they know how to pay you. They're not going to ask you, are you a member of this and a member of that? They're just going to pay you. All right, so that kind of changed the dynamics of the game in your favor. Tell us how social media can help you now that all you now you need to do is define the audience. Tell us a little bit about that, about your trade secret with that.
Well, I mean, my trade secret is just making sure you're doing good music or making sure you're doing good poetry. Whatever it is that you're doing, make sure that it's good, and then you post it online, and what you do is you're creating a platform for yourself just by making it good. I think that a lot of times people think that, look, when you say the good and the bad, one of the bad sides of social media is the fact that a lot of people think that you can just put something on there and it's going to be this thing called instant fame, and that's not true. And there have been some cases where people had that, but, that's not the case most of the time. The reality of it is that people are looking for good music, and the radio is inundated with a whole bunch of junk right now.
Yeah.
And that's not what everybody is looking for. If you think about, back in the day when everybody used to listen to music, there were experiences. You remember moments of that music. You remember where you were at when the song came on. You remember, how you would call into the radio stations and you would request it just to hear it again because it touched on something inside of you that you may have went through or that you have been, that happened in your life, and you're like, man, this such and such is singing directly to me. That's all about my life right there. Well, unfortunately, right now, because music is changing the dynamic, and everybody's all about, how much money I have. Everybody wants to talk about how many cars they have, how many women they can run through, versus really just being realistic with what life is about and talking about other things. And I think that a world is still searching for that. It's just what the radio has given us is this, so that's all we're presented with. So I think now what the benefit of social media is, if you're doing good music, good people will follow good music. If you're doing good poetry, good people will follow good poetry. You know, if you're a great artist, great people will follow great art. So the thing of it is that I think that that's the only winning formula, is just to make sure that you spend time, make sure that you put a little bit of effort into it, and don't just put anything out there that you know is not great. If you're not proud of it yourself, then trust me, nobody else is going to be proud of it either. And we all, you know, come a little short on some things, but what I'm saying is, you know, you have to spend some time and some energy into writing it and to making sure that it sounds good, making sure that the listener can understand what it is that you're trying to give them. And I think that once you do that, then they'll follow you that easily. You're going to get more and more people coming through. I wrote one song that's called Mrs. Jones, Miss Jones. And actually, it was written based off of a friend of mine who actually, she was abused. Physically abused, and I was trying to come up with a song that, you know, for weeks and weeks and weeks she talked to me about this abuse, weeks and weeks and weeks, and so it was like I just had to do something with it. And what I ended up writing was I wanted to make sure that it was going to be a song that, you know, had that feel to it where anybody could hear it. But once you heard it enough, you would get the lyrics behind it, and you would say, oh, my goodness, man, this is really, you know, the women that was going through that, or I guess sometimes even men that are going through that. And, you know, abuse can come in many forms and fashions, so it don't, you know, anybody can be touched by that. But when I wrote it, I actually played it for her, and she had actually called me, and she cried, and she told me that she was actually leaving her husband at the time because of hearing that song and knowing that that was her life. And something like that is, I think, what people want to hear. That's what they're looking for. So, you know, you do songs like that. You do songs, and everything doesn't have to be about, I mean, if you can talk about love, you talk about love to the 10th degree. You know, you talk about love to the 10th degree, and in the way people that are looking for love or searching for love or in love are going to follow you. If you're talking about the world, talk about the world to the 10th degree, so that people that are trying to hear something that's going on with the world, because a lot of people are searching for something, you just got to talk to these people and whatever it is they're searching for, and in some way or form or fashion help them find it. And, you know, most of us know art is what really helps a lot of people get through situations. So that's my secret formula, is just trying to be proud of what it is that I put out there for people to listen to. Be proud of it, so that when I say that I meant this, and when I wrote it, I meant it when I'm singing it. To the best of my knowledge, I put it out there, and I'm giving this to you. So you're getting a piece of me when you hear the music that, you know, when you're listening to anything that I'm doing. You're getting a piece of me, and that's what I want to do. I want to lay it all out there on the table. You listen to it, and then people, they seem to respond to that. They seem to follow it because I guess they can feel that I'm sincere about that, which is, you know, and that's what it's all about for me. Now, so I think that's how it works. But social media, to understand how it's changing the dynamic, I think that now, before, like, you know, we talked about like being in a small town and you didn't have an avenue. You know, there were platforms like American Idol and things like that came about, and everybody flocked to that because that was a way for people to try to make it. What social media has done, where YouTube and Facebook and all these other sites and platforms like yours, what that's done is allow people who may have never had a voice that would be heard by anyone to actually now have a voice. I mean, if you have something that's good and it can get out there and people can hear it, it's going to spread like fire anyway. So all you have to do is get it there and get it heard. And that was the problem before, was nobody was able to get it heard. You know, record labels were so high-strung on how you looked. They were high-strung on, so an artist like Adele, you know, how Adele was, her look was, he was a little bit, you know, the weight was a little too much, that type of thing. Or Jill Scott, you know, another one of those, where they may have talked about, you know, Jill Scott can't really come out into this industry because she's not shaped like a Beyonce. She's not Rihanna, you know, in terms of that, in the way that we see her. But, you know, that doesn't take away from Jill Scott's talent or how beautiful Jill Scott is. It's just that's what the industry was trying to define, not only the art, but they were trying to define what the beauty was. Well, now you don't have to worry about that. Now you can just say, I'm going to put myself on YouTube and get my following.
Yeah, the thing I thought that affected the art to me was when music videos became real popular. It's like, let's just get somebody up there that can dance and look good on camera, and we'll just fix their voice up in the studio and throw some good beats on it. To me, that went on for so long that it's like the people like the Adele and the Jill Scotts, they were kind of like, where their videos at? But now, people kind of like, well, everybody's size 16 now, and that's guys want curvy women. Curvy,
man. Curvy.
Yeah. That's right. We want
try to rub on that. We want some skin
that's
now.
right. We want the big girls,
Yes, sir.
Look, I think that was the reason why a lot of us wasn't sporting big girls back in the day, because they had them little sports cars, remember?
Yeah.
In the 80s, the cars was only 2 doors. You couldn't get a big girl in there. But, now everybody got the big SUVs. Everybody comfortable. That's right. That's right. She got a pretty face, got her hair done, got her nails. She happy. You happy. That's right,
what
man.
It is, man.
All right, yo. We talking to Jus Patrick. We're going to take a quick break. We come back, man. We're going to talk to him some more about his hit song. I want to hear about Sweep Up the Dance Floor, the Wedding Song, and all the singles that's getting 26, 30,000 views, man. This was 2 years ago, and it's still rocking. All right, hold tight, everybody. We're going to hear a presentation from Reese Publishing, okay, from Book Buzz.
Are you an avid reader of urban fiction, looking for drama, suspense, and more? Wit Jus Publishing is dedicated to bringing the world's best literature to our readers. Urban fiction, erotica, sci-fi, mainstream fiction, and children's literature are just some of the genres produced by our diversified family of authors. You can reach us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and at our website, www.witjuspublishing.com.
Hi, this is your girl Cotton, the softest voice in poetry. And when I'm online, I listen to jerry-royce-live worldwide on positivepower21.org. You should be listening to Jerry-Royce-Live.
Yeah, Cotton. We got to get Cotton back on here, too. She can read some poetry, I tell you. Unplug. Cotton. That's right. All right, we're talking to Jus Patrick. Man, you got to check out his YouTube channel, family. Sweep Up the Dance Floor. He posted 2 years ago, 26,000 views. He got a whole bunch of stuff out there. Now, Pat, tell us a little bit about, the moment, man. Sometimes you just feel like just turn on the camera, just sit there and sing, man, to your people, man, and get 1,900 views just like that. 26,000, 15,000, 7,000, 24. Who's these people, man? 47. Who are they, man?
Well, I tell you, man, honestly, I think the first thing was when I first started, I just wanted to go out there and put a couple of songs on YouTube, and it's been years ago, like I said. So, and what's amazing is the fact that I have my YouTube, for example. I'm directly linked to my email on my phone, and every single day I get about 300 or 400 emails from people that are asking me to sing at their wedding, to come sing, a song or do something for it, some type of thing like that. And to me, it's amazing that, I haven't actually even posted a video in so long, but it's like these people are still following me. And there are some people that are requesting, where are you at, Jus Pat? Where you at? We're looking for you. We need you to come back and do your music. You're a great artist. Where you at? Where you been at? That type of thing. And it's funny that for me, who's never released a full CD, to have somewhat of a smaller following than I know there are some people with huge, crazy followings, but to have a following of dedicated people who are actually looking to try to find out what I'm doing, to try to find out when I'm coming out with some new music, or to try to even still get me to come sing some of the songs that I've already, that I've done years ago. They still love me, today. And I think that's there's nothing short of amazing, and it is actually what keeps me motivated in this thing is because to know that some people are touched, and I get these people are it's pretty much pouring out their hearts via email to tell me how one of my songs has actually touched them. I wrote a song called Victim, which is, it's about being victimized in this world. We have, being victimized as being a black man, being victimized as being, someone who has been through war, being victimized as someone who's been in jail, and not being able to get out and find a job. It's just whatever your victimization is, that song pretty much covers it or addresses it. And I've had so many people that have come to me about that particular song to tell me that it really touched their life, and they listen to that, they think about themselves and how they're trying to get out of their own victimization. So I think that's what keeps me going and what keeps me moving. But where the people come from, I think the people just come from. I'll get like one or two people that'll listen to my song, and then they'll tell their friends about it, and then their friends will tell friends, and then friends of friends of friends and friends, and it keeps going on like that. And then like I think at the-weddng-song, for example, had over which I had 2 YouTube channels. Now on one of my channels, the-weddng-song had over 250,000 views in 1 year, which was which was pretty good for just a small town little boy to be putting the song on the YouTube channel, So and then on the other one, it had over I think 180,000 views. So that, to me, that's like pretty amazing, just to know that can be that many people are interested, and to believe all the emails that come through my box, and these people are paying. I want to pay you to come sing at my wedding. I want to pay you to come do. Man, it's amazing to me. So. But yeah, that's how it all how all that came about. I think with the fans and everything like that, it's just through massively people continually telling their friends about it, and then their friends telling their friends about it. I even have people from a lot of different countries right now that are following me, like in Japan and Africa, which is another big one. A lot of people from Africa will call me and tell me they're listening to my stuff and how it's inspiring them, and they're waiting for my new stuff to come out, and et cetera, et cetera. So it's a beautiful thing.
That's right, man. Can't keep us waiting too long, man. Now,
no, sir. I'm about to come up with something new. It's going to be real nice, too. I told you it's going to be something that's never been done before. So I'm thinking of something along the lines of, like Stevie Wonder songs in the key of life type of thing.
Yeah. Because I'm going to tell you, man, I follow quite a few artists that, that's out of, the mainstream, the limelight. And they kind of like post stuff to YouTube, like some of their old stuff. And they have a small following. But I don't see, the 100,000, 200,000 views and the people still engaging them. You have a few people say, oh, we just want to know what you up to, And I had one of them, a couple of them was on my show years ago when I was doing podcasts, and they were trying to make a comeback. But that was before iTunes and Amazon, because it wasn't what it is today in 06 and 07. Right now they are monstrous, distribution. Now tell us a little bit about Victim again. Now, I was reading that you posted the song, and you said, this is me performing my favorite song in North Carolina. Please let me know what you think about it. I wrote this song a few weeks after my father was murdered. All right, what were you going through then, when you wrote that song?
Well, I mean, of course, having your father get murdered is puts you in that victimized state of mind immediately. Myself and my brothers and sisters and my mom, we all went through a whole bunch with that situation. And so when that happened, I was actually in college, and you go through this little state of depression because, it's a lot easier dealing with death when death is on its way. And I say that not to, minimize it, because I think it is what it is when you love somebody. It's just hard either way it is. But when I say that, if you have someone dying of cancer and they tell you that this person has 6 months to live, then there's 6 months that you have of coping with the fact that there's a chance that this person might not be here in 6 months. Or, someone who's at a certain age in your life right now, you're thinking to yourself, then they're going through a lot of health issues, that there's a chance and possibility. You kind of receive that because it's been oncoming for a while. Well, when someone's murdered, there is no warning. I mean, and even though we know it's not up to us anyway, but and unexpectedly, when someone is murdered, especially when it's someone as close as your father or someone like that, it changes the dynamic of who you are as a person, which is pretty much what happened to me. And I remember I said at the piano that, because you have to try to be strong for your family and try to be strong for everybody else. And, you still have to go on because life doesn't stop. And that's one thing that's sad about it all is, after the funeral services and after everybody gives all their condolences, that next week, once again, you're just there by yourself. That's what always happens with death, and a lot of people don't realize it's not the week of that you hear about someone dying. It's the months after that are probably the hardest, because that's when everybody's gone now. No one's calling to check on you like they were, the day of.
Right.
So I remember I was going through my one little moment, and I sat at the piano and I started thinking about how, someone took my dad's life prematurely, and how many other people lives have been taken prematurely, and it was a whole little thing that was going through my mind. It was like, thinking about how many the statistics that talk about how many black men are in prison, and we make up a small portion of the population, yet we are the majority population in prison right now, incarcerated. So that didn't make sense to me to think that, of things like that, and how that is a form of being a victim. How women and abuse and it all was coming through my head at that same time. And so I got and I started writing that song and playing it, and I wanted to keep it very simple because I wanted the lyrics to stand out. And it just goes into being a victim of hate, a victim of crime, a victim of self-sacrifice, being that, sometimes it's not about the world victimizing you, but you victimizing yourself, because sometimes you go through these things like you're on drugs, then you're victimizing yourself. Or if you're in a situation where, you're doing something that's harmful to you, be it sex, be it whatever, that you're not protecting yourself, then you're actually sacrificing you as a person. And so that's what that song is about. And for me, that's why it's probably one of my favorite songs, is because it spoke to me in a moment when I needed it to speak to me. And I know that wasn't words that were coming from me. And that's the thing, and that goes back to what I was saying. I try to write and sing songs. Like even when I did the wedding song, the wedding song was written about just a good friend of mine asked me to write a song for his wedding. When he asked me, he said, "Can you sing Ribbon in the Sky, Stevie Wonder's Ribbon in the Sky?" And I said, "Of course." Then he was like, "You know what, I don't want you to do that, because I know you can sing Ribbon in the Sky. I want you to take and I want you to write something that's specific to me and my wife, my future wife.
Wow.
I want you to write something. That's what I want you to do. I don't want Stevie Wonder's version of what he sees love as. I want you to talk about what you see when you see me and my fiance and the love that we have for each other." And so, that was why I was like, man, that's a big challenge to do. But I was like, I can do it. I can do it. And that's when I came up with, the whole thing. And I just thought about that day and her walking down the aisle, which is how the song actually starts off. I look into your eyes as you walk down the aisle, and I got into all of that. And that's what I thought about. I was like, let me just put myself in his eyes and try to see what he sees in his future wife right there on that day. And it was so funny at the wedding, man. I sung that song, and she came over and she gave me a little light slap. It was like a little joking slap. His fiance did. She said, "Man, why did you have to do that?" And I said, "What?" And she said, "Look at my makeup, man. You've ruined me." And she said, "I wasn't supposed to do that." And so she said the whole way down the aisle, all she did was cry, and all the bridesmaids were crying. It was a beautiful thing, very beautiful thing on that end. But I try to get emotional with it. So that's where that all of that is, the dynamics from that come from. But that's Victim is the same way.
That's right, the wedding song. Now, on your channel, say people can click and purchase music. Now, what can they buy right now from Jus Patrick? What can they buy this most recent that they will enjoy?
Well, I'll tell most recent. Really, believe it or not, it's not most recent, but you can still. The wedding song is still popular. To give you a little heads up, man, on our local radio station, they have a little. It's where they do local artists, and what they do is they profile local artists on the website. And so I have the wedding song was submitted to them for a local artist, and it actually won for that week, which usually is only played on the website, but the song was requested so much that they put it in rotation on the thing there. So that was, again, that's amazing. So, but yeah, the songs that I have right now, if you go to iTunes, you can just actually type in my name, which is Jus Patrick, JUSPATRICK, and they're going to be the few songs that I have right now that are available to purchase. But if everyone can give me just a few months, I'm about to come up with something that is you're gonna have enough Jus Patrick music to last you a lifetime, and put it like that.
Yeah,
from what I'm about
that's
to do.
right.
And I've done most of it. I have just a few more left to record, but it's going to be enough Jus Patrick music to last a lifetime. And so that's and I do have a website, JusPatrick.com, that we're working on, and that'll keep you updated. You can also go to my YouTube page, which you can do it there, Facebook. Just go to Google and type in Jus Patrick. It'll bring up pretty much all of that stuff. So.
All right, sounds good, man. Jus Patrick. Are we talking to Jus Patrick? He's a recording and performing artist, but he calls himself the artist. His genre is R&B. And we're going to take a quick break, Patrick, and we're going to listen to Bill Powers, his message. All right? Check him out, y'all.
Think you know how drugs get in those little brown bottles? Think again. Set in the green hills of western New Jersey, inside the gilded halls of power of a U.S. pharmaceutical company where decisions are worth billions of dollars and human lives worth less. Nicholas Harding, a young executive at Marshall Pharmaceutical, finds his career, family, and life in jeopardy. The Farmhouse, a suspense thriller novel by Bill Powers, published by Donna Inc. Publications, available at Amazon.com or DonnaInc.org. Go to Bill's webpage at www.author.BillPowers.com.
Hi, I am Arthur Crystal Alexis, and I'm on Positive Power 21 with jerry-royce-live. Woohoo!
That's right. You tell him, Crystal. You listen to jerry-royce-live all the time. All right, we're talking to Jus Patrick, North Carolina. Genre, R&B, songwriter, recording, performing artist. He's in the studio. He's ready to rock it, y'all. We're ready to see a video now. Now, you're going to work up to the big drop, man, with a brand new video. Now, you and I talked, early in the week. You talked about going in production yourself. You've been learning lighting and digital. Tell us a little bit what should we expect to see on YouTube, man, that's fresh and new.
Definitely.
Anything
Well,
out of the box.
We're just wrapping up the final stages of our production studio, which we built a recording studio, and it's almost complete. So, and I'm also having a green room in there in that particular office suite also. So, what you're going to get from me now is after graduating and all that stuff, I went back to school. I just got certified in photography and videography, just something that I wanted to do, and it became a huge passion for me in addition to the music thing. And so what you're going to get from looking at the older videos to the newer videos is a much better set. It's going to be a little more intimate than what you got before. It's going to be a well-designed set. And in addition to me as an artist, I'm also going to present a few other artists that I've written songs for, because like I said, I've written songs not only for me. I've written 7,000 for me, but I've written probably about 5,000 for other artists also. And what I'm planning on doing is showcasing some of those on the YouTube channel also, and just creating a whole new independent experience that I think is going to revolutionize the music industry as a whole, because there are a lot of talented people out there, and I think that they're afraid to push it because they feel like this is going to happen or that's going to happen. We're going to just pretty much shatter those walls and let them know that, hey, you can still do your music and you can still make some big moves with your music by doing it yourself. It doesn't require you to have to get caught up in all of the negatives, but you can still do that stuff and stay positive if you want to. I mean, we have a lot of gospel artists, and I actually have a record label. It's called True to Life Entertainment, and the whole idea behind that is being true to yourself. So everybody that's even engaging in that is about being true to yourself, and that's the only thing that I require for you. If you're going to be a gospel artist, you live the life of a gospel artist. Don't sing about being saved and you're out there drinking every night. That doesn't make sense to me. You might as well just go ahead and do something else. If you want to be jazz, then you live the life of a jazz artist, jazz musician. That's the whole thing. Just be true to what it is that you want to do. Don't try to get into this thing and just do it because you think the money is going to follow you if you do it that way. That's not what being true to you is about. As an artist, be an artist. So that's what we have going on, and so you're going to see some much better sets, some much better production, some higher quality videos. We're going to be using the green screen to actually do a couple of other little things behind it. So you're going to see some stuff that's going to look as though it was produced in a major studio type thing. So it's a big thing coming for this year right here. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah. Sound good, man, because there's some great technology out there. And like I was telling you, man, a lot of this stuff don't cost you a whole lot. I mean, you can get really, really good production from a lot of these digital devices they have out there. I mean, like, because I was telling you before how the cameras were $3,000 and $10,000, and now, shoot, man, you can get yourself a tablet with the right lighting, and like you said, you get yourself a green screen, all that stuff on Amazon. And you can have yourself a good looking set, man, and build your audience at the same time. Now, you already know how to do that, so it's just a matter of putting it all together, and we can't wait. So that's a good chance we be seeing you at the piano, man, throwing down at like Alicia Keys concert, man, like an unplugged. We'll get to see some of that.
I've decided I'm going to do that because I've been pretty much studying the piano for a while, and since I was recording last on there with you guys, I saw, like I said, it's so old. I've gotten a lot better on the piano also. So yeah, I'm gonna do like a whole little live concert thing, unplugged. I'm going to actually invite some other people. One of my friends, Darnell Taylor, he actually plays for Anthony Hamilton. He's going to be coming down. Jason Martin, another guy from Eden, North Carolina, real talented pianist. He actually did a lot of stuff with Mark Middleton from Blackstreet and a couple of other major artists. He's going to be doing a little bit of piano behind me also, and a host of other, people that I met in the music industry over the years. We're going to all, just kind of get together and just have us a little jam session and record all of it while we're doing it, and come up with hopefully some amazing material for everybody to listen to and enjoy.
That's right, man. So you can get those 6,000-7,000 downloads a minute.
You got it.
Because, so in other words, man, you living exactly, well, you're about to live exactly what Prince been preaching for years. I remember I was working at Best Buy. Man, this must have been like the late 90s when he first decided to go independent. And I think Best Buy was the only distributor, and that's when he had that, I think he sold everything, that little globe. It was like a 3 CD set. I mean, he had loads of music on. I remember he was saying that it's time for you guys to take control of your own destiny, man. Because them boys was dogging y'all, man. Mainstream. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that goes along the lines of any type of art form. I mean, publishers or authors. Artists in terms of actual painters, and whatever. It's like I think that the best thing that you can do for yourself is to actually say to yourself, this is what I love to do. This is a gift that I believe I received from God. God gives you all these gifts. So if it's a gift that I got from God, then, it's my duty to protect it. And who knows better than how to protect your gift than you? That's what I tell everyone. Right. No one can protect your gift better than you can protect it. So if that requires you to actually look for some different avenues and venues, no one told you that this is the only way that you can go through. I mean, there are different avenues from every street that you're on. You don't have to go exactly down this particular road. You can turn down here and go another route and get to the same destination. It just might take you a few more turns. Well, what I try to say is that, I'm willing to do that, and I know there are a lot of other people who are willing to go down that different road. Not everybody's got to go down Interstate 40, to get to, or go 95 to get to New York. There's other ways. So it's like sometimes you got to take these other pathways and look at the different opportunities, but at the same time, what you're doing is you're protecting you. You're protecting what it is that's given as a gift. And I do wholeheartedly believe that it's best for us as artists because financially, selling. You look at people like TLC, for example. The situation when they sold Crazy Sexy Cool sold, I think, like 13 million copies, and they were broke. They came out with nothing.
Yeah, man.
Or something, a Suburban or something crazy, and that's it. After all the millions of dollars that was made, so
what they said what they said $700 million or something like that, crazy number like that. And I used to see them shopping in Marshalls, man, TJ Maxx for their outfits.
Oh yeah, because I mean they really had nothing, and you're talking about somebody. I mean, the money that was generated, it didn't go to them. It went to everybody but them. And so that's when like what Prince is doing is taking care of, or like I said, protecting what it is that he spent time and energy into doing, and that's his art form, his craft, and his gift. So I wholeheartedly believe, man, we in a whole nother. It's the corridor is opened up. It's just depending on now what we're going to do or how we're going to take advantage of it. And either
we there now.
That same route, or you can say, I'm going to do this thing, and because it's open for me, I'm going to do it to the best of my ability, and I'm going to protect it.
That's right, man. And I know one of the things you and I was talking about too, when we was talking the weekend, was about the fact that some of these numbers dictate if an artist should be on the road touring. Man, like we were talking about Stevie. Man, Stevie put the call out. He coming to Washington, coming to Baltimore, New York. People gonna be Mary J. Come on a local radio like Tom Joyner says she gonna be at the first Mariner. I think they call it Royal Farm Arena. Man, people gonna buy the tickets right from their smartphone while they at work. It don't take a whole bunch of promotion to tell your existing audience where you gonna be. That's what trips me out.
It does not.
Yeah, that's I just tripping out on that whole thing. It's fair, man. It gotta be fair.
Yeah, and it's funny that all the major artists right now are just really having a hard time. Most of them, not going to say all of them. There, is a very small handful that's actually reaping benefits, but the majority of them are, unfortunately, have succumbed to piracy, and because they have to pay the label so much, it's become a thing where going on the road is not even a choice anymore. If this is what you want to do, this is like it's a necessity for you to survive now in this industry. So that's another thing that's changed versus before. You could put a CD out there and people would wait. There was no copying it, no putting it on these little websites and everybody downloading it. Everybody's got a CD burner at home, or everybody has.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Take that computer and transfer it over to the next person's. None of that stuff existed. You just had to wait until it came over there and go to a store like a Best Buy or one of the bookstores and purchase it. Whereas now, that's not the case anymore. You can sit from home and download pretty much everything you want. Just, it's unfortunate, but it's the truth. And so that dynamic has changed, and not only is it just for independent artists, but major artists are dealing with a whole bunch also. So the industry is just is a whole new industry. And if you don't change with it, then you're going to end up being sucked up with it and eaten alive by it. So, my thing of it is just make that change and protect what it is that you're doing. And that's what I plan on doing. I plan on, and it's not about the money. It's about, I feel like the gift that I've been given is to touch a lot of people. And that's what that gift is for. And for me, what's most important is that I have to make sure that people are able to get to it and receive it. And I think that as the years have passed, and you ask like why have I been away for so long, it's like I got caught up in the industry also. I think like everybody else did, I got caught up in it, got hurt by the industry. As a soloist, I got a major label. I was actually signed to Def Jam, and after that experience, which was a great experience, I met a lot of people. I actually was in the studio with Mary J. Blige. I did some stuff with Case. And so I, really, really good experience. I met a lot of artists, a lot of major people in the industry. But it also showed me that there's nothing that is going on within this label that I can't do for myself.
That's right.
So that's the benefit of what I learned from all of that.
That's right. But Pat, let me tell you, my experience, being a consumer, and I know a lot of times you guys being artists, you don't really know how we really feel because nobody asks us. But I'm going to tell you, man, I think I told you when we talked before that, I felt like ripped off. You're talking about most of your audience are working jobs that they're not even really being paid what they're worth, and then you have to go out and spend $25 for a CD, and there's only 2 songs that you really like. But now with digital downloading, being that you guys are now making the songs available as a single, so if you have 12 or 15 songs and it's only 2 I like, and I'm only paying 99, I don't feel like I need to steal it from you if it's only 99 cents. If I can't afford $1, I need to go back to college and get a PhD or something. There's something wrong. And I think that was the problem, that the CDs was marked up so high. And so you have 4 or 5 artists that you really like. Everybody always drop everything the same time of the year, right before Christmas. They dropping stuff. How you going to afford $25 per per CD for 5 artists, and we don't make that kind of money. So I think that's when you got into people's, and then guys want mixtapes. You got all these DJs making mixtapes. They take their favorite hook off your song that you like and mix with your other favorites. You say, well, I'm going to go ahead and buy a $5 mixtape because they got like 20 of my favorite artists on. Well, I'm going to go ahead and spend $25 for a CD. Only 2 songs I like. So that was the thing about it too. The industry was killing the consumer, man, pocket. That's why they were stealing the stuff. When Microsoft and all these PCs made it so that we can copy your music from a friend, just like that, they were going to do it, man, because we couldn't afford it. It wasn't that we wanted to steal it. We just couldn't afford to support y'all. And then buy the tickets. Man. See?
Well,
that's what I'm talking about.
What's funny is, what's funny, Jerry, is, man, I actually agree with that. I 100% agree with that. I feel that the record labels were so greedy. They were so greedy that, and they weren't paying people anything, so they had these royalty points set up a certain way. So you had to sell like millions and millions of copies just to break even as an artist. And so, the thing about it is me being an artist, I understand both sides of the spectrum. As an artist, I understand the countless and numerous hours that you spend in the studio. I understand the countless numerous hours that you spend writing these songs. I understand the countless and numerous hours that you spend just trying to get a good recording, a good vocal down there. I understand how sometimes you go in with a sore throat and you know that you still want to put this out there for people to hear because it's that important to you to actually push it out there. And when you do that and then your sales reflect that you only sold 10, it's almost a slap in the face because you feel as though there were so people that paid attention to it. And it's almost disheartening in all the work and time and efforts that you put into it. Now, on the other side, I respect wholeheartedly that, when you're paying all this money and the record labels are so greedy, they feel like, we can release one good song and everybody's going to flock to the stores and they're going to buy the whole CD for $12, $13, $14, sometimes $20, and only have that one good song, and the other 11 or 12 songs that they used to put out there were all garbage because they didn't spend any time working on those or making sure they were good, that people feel slighted and cheated because they knew that stuff wasn't great, but yet and so they put it out anyway. And so I think that the music industry, this is a great learning lesson for them that now no one's going to take that anymore. And that's why I say that this is time for change in regards to what the artist is doing and also what the industry is doing. I say that in regards to, like, as an artist, the responsibility of the artist is to actually give your heart and soul no matter what. Your responsibility for people, especially if you're expecting to reach into their pockets and put their hard-earned money out for you, is to give them some of the best music you can give them. You need to spend time in there, listen to it, and make sure that it makes sense, not only for you, but for them also, for someone that's going to be paying attention to it. And then the responsibility for that right there. And then that way, you have people that are going to come to it and say, okay, I respect that this person spent time making a good song for me, so I don't mind reaching in here paying $1. I don't mind buying a whole album for $10. I don't mind doing that because I can tell that they're trying to make sure that it's a good experience for me, and I want them to continue to keep doing this. And so until we can get that feeling back into the industry, then, it's going to always be this right here. That's why I'm glad that the independent artists and this whole independent revolution is taking place, because I think a lot of artists now realize it's a possibility for people now.
That's right, man. You got so much talent out here, man. I had a guy just last week. He specialized in short film. If he could do a short film, he could do a music video, in my opinion. We just want to hear you anyway. Unless you're a hot looking woman. Like when I watch Adele, I'm not looking at Adele because I want to see a hot naked woman singing a song. I'm watching her in concert because I want to feel her. I want to feel with her energy. When she's in now, Adele kind of drove me crazy with all the talking in between the song. I didn't mind it the first time, but when I want to look at it again and hear her, I don't feel like hearing that same conversation over and over again. So I just wish she had a.
Nobody wants to do that. If you didn't put music, man, give me the music.
It's okay. If I was at the concert, it would have been cool because I'm just going to hear it that one time. All right, good. That's why you wrote that song and you went through that. Oh, awesome. But when on DVD, they should have edited that out. And I probably do it myself.
And again, we talk about that's the responsibility of the artist, man. I think that if you're going to do that, have that on a separate channel, a separate track. You know, you have all the songs playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and if you want to do a little soliloquy or monologue after that, make that a part that the end of the disc. You know, when they do the credits, make that your credit.
Yeah.
You know, because most people don't want to hear it. And the ones that do want to hear it, they can just go to that part of it and they can listen to it. It's a selection, just like everything else is. You know, but I agree with you there, man. It's about the music. So if you're going to be a musician, be about the music. You know, if I want to, you know, in poetry, it's about the poetry. You don't want to hear a poet. I don't think anybody want to go to a poetry reading and hear the poet singing. You know, it's because that's not what you really came for. You came for to hear some spoken word, and then you got somebody that's a poet that's singing and they really don't sing. I don't think that's going to go over too well. And it's the same thing.
I'm going to play this guitar real quick. Yeah, he's like, let me play this guitar real quick. Like, I didn't know you played the guitar.
Or a comedian, you don't want to hear a comedian talking about politics. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, unless you know that's his thing and that's part of the show. But if he just going to spring it on you, his opinion of what's going on in the White House, you're like, wait a minute, dude, I'm not voting today. I want to hear you do your thing. You know, I feel
and when
you, man.
I'm talking about politics, I'm saying they talking about not politics on a comedic level, but I mean, you know, for 30 minutes they talking about why you should vote for A, B, C, or D. I mean, that's not what people pay their money for. They pay their money, you know, to come there and laugh and have a good time. So same thing with music. You know, people want to hear you sing. They want to hear your music. They want to hear your voice. They want to hear you, do that or what they came for. So I totally agree with that.
Amen. We talking to Jus Patrick, man. I gave you a lot of time today, bro. I hope you repay me by dropping us a few tracks so we can put you on Unplug on Saturday night so people can hear the sounds of Jus Patrick.
Consider it done, man. I'm gonna go get you. I'm actually gonna get you some tracks. Actually tomorrow I'll have those sent over to you, and I'll get all that stuff done, man. Definitely.
Yeah, man. So we can build you up, man, because we got a couple people that that's releasing some tracks, and we want to kind of mix it all together, let people get to sit back and enjoy themselves, and listen to my radio cast on the weekends. You know, especially the people that's overseas. They don't have an opportunity to listen to their local radio station, but they depend on internet radio to bring it to them. All right, man. So when we come back, we want to get your final thoughts. All right, so we're gonna have a quick 30-second break with Tanika, our spoken word artist. Okay, hold tight.
All right, no problem.
Hey everyone, this is Tanika Gonzalez, spoken word poet. Whenever I'm online, I'm always listening to Jerry-Royce-Live. You can find Jerry on www.speaker.com. Positive Power 21.
Hi, this is Angel Sessions, and when I'm in town, I listen to Jerry-Royce-Live, positivepower21.org, where they play my favorite music.
That's right, Angel. You know it. On Saturdays, y'all, we're going to be playing Jus Patrick. Can't wait to get my tracks. Man, I'm going to be DJ Royce. That's right. I'm bringing him alive, man. DJ Royce going to be the man on the weekends, man. He going to make me a star. That's my alter ego. Like, I already have a big enough one now during the weekday. I'm going crazy on the weekends, man. I can't wait, man. It's always been my dream to be a DJ on the radio. All right, man. Your final thoughts for you gave us a lot, man. I mean, you dropped a lot of science on us, man. We really appreciate you spending time with us, and we can't wait for you to drop your multi-tracks CD. That might have to be a DVD when you get done.
It probably will have to be. I'm just going to tell everybody, just be looking out for it. If everybody can, I'm trying to tell everybody. I know it's under construction right now, but give me just a couple of weeks. It'll be done, and that's my website. Website is going to tell you everything you need to know. That's juspatrick.com. That's juspatrick.com. I'm just telling everybody, please go to the website there, and hopefully you'll be able to be updated with everything that's about to happen. And when I tell you we're working on something that's going to revolutionize the music industry, it's going to revolutionize the music industry. So real proud about that, man. Just been really aggressive, working hard with it. And before we close out, Jerry, I want to say, man, thank you for everything you're doing for us independent artists and authors and poets and everyone else. This is a great platform for us, man. And I can't express my gratitude enough, as I'm sure you've heard many times over, just with the positive influence that you have over, with your network and the many people that are listening to this right here. It's a great platform for us, and we really appreciate you, Positive Power 21, and just everything else you're doing for us, man. As artists, it's a great thing, man.
Yeah. So, you're welcome, man. I really appreciate you guys, let me in y'all world, man, because I know it was tough breaking in, man. So I really appreciate the opportunity to work with you guys. All right, amen. Praise God, man, and praise my father too, man, because I was I was about to track all those erotica writers to the show, and we was about to. Yeah, my father had never talked with me, man. He said, "What do they have to do with Positive Power?" It was a funny conversation, but you should have heard my rebuttal.
I can imagine you tried to justify.
I tried. I didn't win that one, man. All right, so we give praise to my dad too for bringing me back, man, to give y'all this platform, because I was going to another world. All right. Yeah, I got laugh about that sometime, man. All right, Pat, we appreciate you, man. Yeah, no, that's what he said. Amen. Yeah, the world can just snatch you in there, man. Yeah,
yes, sir. But I'm gonna definitely get those songs over to you, and you guys can play a few things, and we'll get everything done, man. And just want to tell everybody, man, please support Jerry, because what he's doing, Jerry Royce. Please support him, because this is great. This is wonderful. Positive Power 21. You guys are great. I love what you're doing. And anything that I can do to help out, I'm consider it done, man. I just really appreciate what you're doing, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, when you get your buddies together, man, those guys dropping tracks, send them our way, man, so we can put them on Saturdays, man, so we can have a real interesting Saturday afternoon and evening for our audience, man. So let them hear some stuff they can't hear on terrestrial radio. That's my dream, man, my vision.
Consider it done, and I'm gonna get you some really good music, really good professional sounding stuff. We're gonna blow your mind with some of the stuff I got coming out.
Yeah, man. And find me some funny guys too, man. You got some funny guys in your city, man. Tell them to send me their CDs, man. Put some jokes out here, man. Make people laugh. World too serious.
I got you. Ain't no problem.
Man. All right, bro. And I tell you, Pat, I tell people all the time, man, they want to hear the good stuff. I mean, just like today, man, you dropped some real musical science on us, man. Social media, the direction that the independent is going. We really appreciate the information. It gave people hope, man, because they probably had the same dream as you, man, in a small town. Probably compile maybe 10,000 songs. They just sitting on a shelf collecting dust. Man, you probably inspired 1 million people, man, listening to this show.
Well, I hope I did. And I tell all those people, dust those things off, man. Get them posted. Let somebody hear it.
That's right.
Don't let your dream die. That's what I tell anybody. Don't let your dream die on the shelf. God didn't give it to you for you to put it on the shelf and leave it there. He gave it to you so that the world can hear it. So dust all of that stuff off and put them out there and let people hear them.
That's right. So, you know what I heard, man? I heard if you don't use your talent, he'll take it away and give it to somebody else.
Take it away from you. Look it in you. Yeah, he will remove it from you.
That's right, real quick. All right.
Yes, sir.
So we out of here, y'all. We appreciate y'all listening to Jerry Royce Live, PositivePower21.org, and Spreaker.com/PositivePower21. I'm Jerry Royce Live, and that's Jus Patrick. We worldwide.
Thank you for tuning
in to Jerry Royce Live on Positive All right, brother. Thanks, man. And Spreaker.com/PositivePower21. This is a Voice Enterprises production. Don't take a second. And don't forget about replay on Facebook.com/Jerry Royce Live. All right, y'all. Y'all stay awesome all week and listen to us. We worldwide.